It's hard to bet against Canelo. It's hard to bet against Canelo. So I'm very excited. The guy.
Andrew Tate made a bold claim backing Canelo over Crawford with a strong warning. His statement sent shockwaves through the boxing world, sparking intense debate about Crawford's chances. Boxing legend Julio Cesar Chavez doubled down on Tate's claim, dismissing Crawford's chances against the Mexican powerhouse. He stated, "Canelo will knock him out in 6 or 7 rounds. Crawford is a good fighter, but there are weight classes for a reason." His words hit hard, echoing what many believe. Crawford is stepping into dangerous territory. Canelo's size, power, and experience could be too much to handle. While Crawford's skills are undeniable, Chavez warns that raw talent alone won't defy physics. The message is clear. This fight isn't just about skill, it's about survival.
Canelo wipes the floor with him. I love Crawford. I told you when Crawford and Spence that Crawford would beat the hell out of him. But Canelo is a different proposition. It's an interesting fight, but I think there's only one winner. Canelo is used to fighting at a particular level, and I don't think that Terence can hurt Canelo, but Canelo can hurt Terence.
The doubts surrounding Crawford's chances didn't stop there. Boxing promoter Bob Arum, who has backed Crawford for years, didn't hold back his thoughts on the matchup. While he praised Crawford's dominance over Spence, he made it clear that facing Canelo is an entirely different challenge. Arum believes Canelo's power, size, and experience give him a clear advantage. He argues that Crawford, despite his skill, won't be able to hurt Canelo the way he did smaller opponents. Meanwhile, Canelo has the tools to break Crawford down. According to Arum, there's only one outcome: Canelo dominating the fight. The message from boxing's biggest voices is becoming undeniable. Crawford is facing an uphill battle. Crawford may be the underdog in the eyes of legends, but Canelo himself sees the fight as something much bigger. He isn't just looking at size and power, he sees history in the making. A battle between two dominant champions, both at the top of their game, is what excites him. This isn't just another fight. It's about legacy, greatness, and proving who truly stands above the rest, he stated. "Just look at how much he's accomplished, and just look at how much I've accomplished." So imagine two fighters with those accomplishments. It's huge.
His opinion is I think he's going to be too small. Canelo is still Canelo, I think Crawford is probably number 1 pound for pound. But what pound for pound means if they were all in the same weight class. They are not in the same weight class. 147 to, he just moved up, right? I can still say he just moved up from 147 to 168. There are weight classes for a reason. Now, if they were in the same weight class, then it's a different story. It'll be a way more competitive fight. But they're not. You know what I mean? So I think
Canelo knows the magnitude of this showdown. He isn't underestimating Crawford. He respects what the undefeated American has achieved. But respect doesn't mean hesitation. Canelo is stepping into this fight with confidence, knowing that his experience against bigger opponents gives him the edge. While others focus on weight and power, he sees something greater, a defining moment in boxing history. As the excitement around Canelo versus Crawford builds, the fight is already making history before the first punch is thrown. Reports suggest that this mega showdown could be the first event under the newly announced TKOSL Ring magazine partnership with Turki Alashik and Dana White involved. The stakes are higher than ever. A fight of this magnitude deserves a stage that matches its significance, and Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas might be the perfect battlefield. This isn't just a fight, it's the start of a new era in boxing promotions that, if true, this move could shake up the sport, bringing a fresh dynamic to high-profile boxing events. The combination of Dana White's influence and Alashik's vision could create something never seen before. Traditional promoters might not like it, but fans could be in for a spectacle unlike any other. The Canelo-Crawford clash isn't just about two fighters, it's about changing the boxing business. With all eyes on this event, it could redefine how the biggest fights are made and marketed.
Advantage of the bigger man who's very experienced, who's been a world champion a long time, Canelo, tremendous fighter. You can look at him and, say, with all his experience, his skill sets, You know, his resume of fighters that he's fought, champions, everything, that with his size, you know, he's gonna have the advantage. He's bigger, he's stronger.
With rumors swirling around the promotional side of Canelo versus Crawford, veteran boxing reporter Dan Rafael shed light on what's really happening behind the scenes. Unlike his previous partnerships with Matchroom, Golden Boy, and PBC, Canelo is now working under a unique deal. The influence of Saudi Arabia and Turkey Al-Sheikh is changing the boxing business in ways never seen before. And now, with Dana White's involvement, the fight's promotional landscape is taking an unexpected turn that he stated Turkey has a 4-fight deal with Canelo Alvarez, and he doesn't have an official promoter like when he was with Matchroom, Golden Boy, or when he was doing fights with PBC and TGB. With no long-term ties to a specific promoter, Canelo has the power to choose his biggest fights freely. That freedom has led to this mega clash against Crawford, a fight that could define both of their legacies. Crawford, known for his technical brilliance and ability to adjust mid-fight, is taking a risk unlike any before. Canelo, on the other hand, has fought the best across multiple weight classes and knows what it takes to beat elite-level opposition. The stage is set for a true battle of champions. Rafael continued, Dana is going to be doing these events for this unnamed company that Turkey and the Saudis are backing. The involvement of Dana White and Saudi Arabia's backing ensures that the fight will be promoted on a grand scale. With Las Vegas likely hosting the event, it's bound to be a spectacle fitting for such a high-stakes showdown. But all the hype, marketing, and build-up won't matter when the first bell rings. That's when it comes down to power, precision, and heart. Canelo's ability to walk down opponents and wear them out could be his biggest weapon, while Crawford's elite movement and counterpunching might be the key to an upset. Rafael added, I believe, and I've heard the rumblings over the last couple of days, that it would seem logical that, in the end, the TKO-based company will end up promoting the fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez in September.
Honestly, if anybody could jump up in weight classes and do it, it's Terence Crawford. I don't know nobody who is mentally as strong as Terence Crawford, so I can't wait to watch it.
Stevenson highlighted Crawford's unmatched mental toughness, which has carried him through every challenge in his career. He acknowledged the difficulty of moving up in weight, but believes Crawford's skill set and mentality make him capable of pulling off something special. Unlike those who doubt Crawford's ability to handle Canelo's power, Stevenson is excited to see how he adapts. He knows the challenge is massive, but if anyone can find a way to defy expectations, it's Crawford. This fight isn't just about size, it's about who can impose their will when it matters most. Teddy Atlas also acknowledged the other side of the argument, recognizing the strengths that make Crawford a dangerous opponent. While many emphasize Canelo's size and power, Atlas pointed out that Crawford brings his own advantages into the fight. Speed, skill, and fight IQ could be just as important as raw strength. Crawford has proven himself at every level, showing the ability to adapt and break down opponents. His success isn't just about talent, it's about his ability to outthink and outmaneuver even the toughest fighters.
He's faster, he's craftier. You know, he's experienced too. He's been a champion too. He can wind up where the other guy could be too strong and too powerful. He could be too fast, too slick. And he's also shown that he carries power fairly well.
Atlas highlighted that Crawford isn't just skilled, he's fast, crafty, and carries his power well when moving up in weight. His ability to control distance, switch stances, and land counters makes him unpredictable. While Canelo has the physical edge, Crawford's timing and defensive awareness could help him neutralize that threat. His experience as a champion across multiple divisions proves he knows how to handle bigger opponents. Atlas sees a real possibility where Crawford's speed and skill allow him to offset Canelo's power and turn the fight in his favor. He also addressed concerns about whether Crawford's power will translate to a higher weight class. While Crawford has shown knockout ability at welterweight, some doubt whether that power will be effective against a naturally bigger fighter like Canelo. Atlas acknowledged that Crawford wasn't able to score a clean knockout in past fights at higher weights, but he believes power alone won't decide this fight. Instead, it will come down to strategy, movement, and execution inside the ring.
I know with the Matrimorph fight that a lot of people will say, no, Teddy, he didn't carry his power to the 154-pound class. Now he's going up even another one to 168. You know, how are you going to reconcile that? Again, he wasn't really able to catch Matrimorph, who was much better than people gave credit for, having only 10 fights with his amateur background. They didn't understand how crafty he was. He wasn't able to catch him real clean. But again, it's not going to come down to power. If the smaller man's to win this fight, he's going to negate the power of the bigger.
Atlas pointed out that Crawford struggled to land a decisive shot against a crafty opponent in the past, but that doesn't mean he won't be effective against Canelo. He emphasized that Crawford's success won't rely on overpowering Canelo, but on neutralizing his strengths. Speed, timing, and defensive adjustments will be the keys for Crawford if he wants to overcome the size disadvantage. Atlas sees a path to victory where Crawford doesn't have to match Canelo's power. He just has to make sure it never becomes a factor, that if he can control the pace and stay elusive, the weight difference might not be as important as many think. Sean Porter, a former opponent of Terence Crawford, shared a unique perspective on what this fight means for Crawford personally. While many focus on the physical challenges of moving up in weight, Porter highlights the mental side of Crawford's journey. He knows firsthand how motivated Crawford is when people count him out. Throughout his career, Crawford has been overlooked, doubted, and questioned. But every time he has silenced critics with dominant performances.
Is out for the best. That's something that I know personally about Bud. Feeling counted out and doubted for so long, I think that Bud mentally feels as if I do this against Canelo, no one can ever deny anything that I've done, even when you, like the fight with me.
Porter explained that for Crawford, this fight is about more than just winning. It's about cementing his legacy in a way no one can ever deny. If he beats Canelo, it eliminates any remaining doubt about his greatness. Crawford isn't just looking to prove he belongs, he wants to make history. That mentality could drive him to push beyond any physical disadvantage. He has always thrived in situations where people doubted him, and this challenge is no different. For Crawford, taking on Canelo isn't just another fight, it's a chance to define his place among boxing's all-time greats. Porter continued to emphasize just how much this fight means for Terence Crawford's legacy. He believes Crawford has reached a point where there are no other challenges left for him in his natural weight classes. That be why, dominating at welterweight and proving himself as one of the best in the world, he has essentially outgrown his division. Now, the only fight that makes sense is one against Canelo, the biggest name in boxing.
For Bud, it's like, this one you can't deny it, and I agree. Beyond that, there's really no one else for him to fight. He fought himself into what I like to say, out of this world. He fought himself into being on another stratosphere. That stratosphere that Canelo has been on for years. That stratosphere that not too many people make it to. Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, Oscar De La Hoya in his prime. You can't. It ain't. So who else is there right now in that stratosphere other than Canelo? There is no one else.
Porter compared Crawford's rise to the legendary paths of fighters like Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, and Oscar De La Hoya. These were fighters who transcended weight classes and solidified their greatness by taking on the biggest challenges. Crawford now finds himself in that same position. There is no bigger fight, no bigger moment, and no bigger test than facing Canelo. If he wins, he joins the rare elite who have dominated across multiple divisions. According to Porter, this is the only fight left that truly matters for Crawford's legacy. Porter provided deeper insight into what makes Terence Crawford such a unique and dangerous fighter. While many discuss the size difference between him and Canelo, Porter highlighted Crawford's ability to adapt in the ring. Unlike traditional fighters who rely on one style, Crawford has the rare ability to switch seamlessly between different approaches. Whether it's boxing from the outside, applying pressure, or counterpunching, he can adjust to whatever the fight demands.
What's pretty cool is he can kind of transform seamlessly and do different things in the ring, which is pretty cool for him. Like for an example, he can box from the outside and get to the body. Me, I had to actually, slip and slide and get low, get in there and get to the body, So he has an approach of being aggressive that's different from even from my approach to being aggressive. He's tall and long, so being in range is just aggressive.
Porter explained that Crawford's aggressive style is different for most fighters, including himself. While some have to physically push forward to land body shots, Crawford's reach and movement allow him to attack without taking unnecessary risks. His ability to control range makes him dangerous even when he's not pressing forward. Against Canelo, this could be a key weapon, staying just close enough to land shots while avoiding big counters. His versatility will be tested against a fighter as experienced as Canelo, but if anyone can adapt to the challenge, it's Crawford. Porter doubled down on his belief that Crawford's versatility will be his biggest weapon against Canelo. While many focus on Canelo's size and power, Porter sees Crawford's ability to switch styles as the real difference-maker. Unlike most fighters who rely on one strength, Crawford has mastered multiple approaches, making him unpredictable in the ring. Against an opponent as experienced as Canelo, that unpredictability could be the key to victory.
I had to actually be in there and on you, so believe it or not, I think that Crawford is the more versatile fighter, and I think it takes him using all that versatility to beat Canelo Alvarez.
Porter emphasized that Crawford isn't just a great boxer, he's a fighter who can adapt to any situation. Whether he needs to box from the outside, counterpunch, or fight aggressively, he has the tools to adjust in real time. Against Canelo, this could mean avoiding exchanges where size becomes a factor and instead using movement and angles to control the fight. Crawford won't try to overpower Canelo, he'll try to outthink him. Porter believes that if Crawford fully utilizes his versatility, he has a real shot at shocking the world. Crawford's trainer, Brian "Bomac" McIntyre, is fully confident in his fighter's ability to pull off the upset. While many question whether Crawford can handle the size and power of Canelo, McIntyre believes there's a reason Crawford called for this fight. He isn't taking it for the paycheck or just to challenge himself. He truly sees a path to victory. According to McIntyre, Crawford doesn't take unnecessary risks, and if he stepped up to fight Canelo, it's because he believes he can win.
The man must have seen something when he called to Canelo out, because you got to remember, the boy called Canelo out. So he must see something in order for him to get that win, and he know he can win. So like I said before, it's our job to hit him to that point.
McIntyre stressed that Crawford must have seen a weakness in Canelo's style that he can exploit. Throughout his career, Crawford has been a master at finding openings and breaking down opponents piece by piece. His ability to study and adjust mid-fight is what makes him special. McIntyre knows their job in training camp is to sharpen those tools and build the perfect strategy. He isn't worried about the outside noise. He believes Crawford has everything it takes to shock the world and hand Canelo a loss.